Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for The Mighty Thor issue 703. And this really ramped up the Mangog, man. He started his attack on Asgard and everything, and it's intense, man. So this issue starts off going back a few days ago with Jane talking with Roz, sitting in her flying car, eating pizza. And Jane, of course, isn't feeling that well, not really that hungry for the pizza, and of course, Roz is just trying to tell her that she's pretty much killing herself. But of course, she has to fly off and be Thor and all that, and then, of course, we see Sam calling her, which I understand that they had a romance going on, but it really hasn't been that much explored in Thor, or Falcon, or when Sam was Captain America when it started off, which I wish there could have been more of because it alludes to more of a relationship because he's calling her about the weekend, telling him about him being Falcon and all that, and hoping that she wasn't with him just because of the Captain America outfit and everything, and that was kind of cool. And of course, we see Doctor Strange being like, Thunder, dang that Jane, doing all that stuff, and then he's fighting a hextopus and all that, and that was really cool. He just popped out of a dumpster. Damn, screw this thing. But of course, we then get back to when Jane had collapsed and she's in the hospital, and we get them talking about what's going on. And she's like, I have to defend the realms and everything, and of course, they really get down to how serious her situation is. We see Sam there, we see Strange, we see the Odinson, and we see Roz there as well. And of course, Doctor Strange goes into it, and we find out that she's in stage 4, and how serious this situation is that she's in stage 4, and that if she transforms into Thor one more time, she will probably die. Jane will not survive the reverse transformation process, and that's a kind of big thing. That means she has a very real choice. Does she want to die like this to cancer, or does she want to go out as Thor and then transform back and pretty much almost instantaneously die, I assume? Well, it would probably be a little bit differently, but it would probably be very fast. And that's a big kind of thing, and I really like how they laid it out and how we had a kind of contrast between the white sterileness of the hospital room and then, of course, the colorfulness of Asgard. And while this is going on, because this is about where we start getting into where everything's starting to kind of converge, we see Mangog is fighting Heimdall and the Bifrost, and Heimdall's trying his hardest, but of course the Mangog gets at him, breaks his sword, and we don't see exactly what it is, but Heimdall's eyes are damaged, and the Mangog goes, did you foresee this? It's like, holy crap. And Cole's watching, and we see the god of fear afraid, and that's a great thing. He's like, I'll take what this thing loves and destroy it and all that. He's like, destroy the Bifrost to throw this thing away from Asgard. And of course he's like, no, you puny gods, and breaks the Bifrost himself as he's starting to like make his way and destroying all of Asgard. And it's a big thing. Odin's kind of just contemplating in his throne room, and Freya gets to call and goes, listen, we need to use the destroyer, and we've seen that they've been using it as like forced labor, and that it's pretty much been eating the minds of people to satiate it. And of course Freya gets into it and pretty much goes on the attack for the Mangog, which is pretty awesome. And we find out that it's still not enough. And the Mangog's pretty much calling her weak, and Freya is in a weakened state. She had just awakened from being almost nearly dead from Loki's poison. And this leads it to Mangog biting off and destroying the Destroyer's arm, which of course hurts Freya. And Kull's just, he doesn't know what to do, because this is an unstoppable kind of force. And of course this is about where the point where Mjolnir comes in to Jane's room to call her and lets Jane know that the Mangog is fighting Asgardia. And of course Odinson is telling them out to go away. And I loved when he's going through this and explaining to her, he understands how hard it is to put down the hammer and stop being Thor. Gods he does, but he cares more about her than just doing that and going, listen, we can do this. We can fight the Mangog. And we will find a way to do this. Showing, of course, the good part of the Odinson who will just try and fight for his friends. And of course, Jane's got a decision to make. Will she grab that hammer and become Thor? Or will she not? And her choice is that she won't. She instead swears the rest of them into being soldiers in the War of the Realms and tells them to go defend Asgard. And of course, that lets Mjolnir to fly away and sets up some intriguing possibilities, because at this moment in time, this doesn't seem like the Doctor has become a demigod of magic. And I don't know if how the timelines are for the two books of Doctor Strange and the Mighty Thor. I don't know if it's set, if Doctor Strange is after or before the whole Mangog situation. Because amped up magic god really would be a good, helpful person to have fighting a Mangog. But I would like to see Sam also kind of in that fight as well. But then again, that goes into another timeline thing, because at the moment, in the Falcon series, his soul's in hell. So, I understand that, but I would really like to see them in this conflict. So, of course, that then leads us to towards the end of the issue, and we see the Mangog going up and getting ready to take out the Allfather, him lamenting, saying that even gods die and all that, and wishing that he would hold his son, his heir, something. And then, of course, that's when the Odinson shows up. You can do it later, old man. We're going to do this like we usually do it. And Odin's like, how do we do that? With thunder and blood. And it's like, yes, 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 yes. And they're getting ready, and Mangog's getting ready to be like, I'm going to take out Asgard, man. And, of course, that's where the Thor part of the issue ends. Then we get a cool little bit at the end, linking up with the whole Logan situation, and that he had went to Jane's hospital to leave flowers. And, of course, the nurse is like, well, there's no note on here. How will she know who they're from? So, it's cool that Logan's being linked to all these different people, since we've seen him in the Cap issue looking for Steve. And now he's here looking for Jane, Thor. Why? I mean, yeah, he's back from the dead and he'd want to see his old friends, but I believe that there's some other things going on here. So I like these little breadcrumbs being connected and everything, and it just sets up some more. Now, I would love it when all of it's kind of connected through other parts of the Marvel Universe, but I like where this is ended, showing the gods in dire situations and how they're going to get out of it and what's going to be happening with the Man-God, because you're going to have to be pretty creative to take him out. And just seeing Asgard in complete ruins, it's like, wow, they're gonna have trouble coming back with this. And then having to fight Malekith and his evil cabal on top of it. So, whew, we got a lot to get through, man. So, I'm really amped up for where they're going. So, those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.